Hi. A couple minutes late. I hope people hung in there with me because I have Katie Couric. Hi. Hey, Erica. I'm going to let a few more people join because I don't want anybody to miss Katie Couric, who is on Squats and Margaritas today. She is here in Atlanta on her Going There book tour. And I have a few minutes with her before she starts rehearsals for her show tonight, which I will be at. Hi, Katie Couric. I'm bringing her in. How do I bring you in? Oh, hold on. Oh, there you are. I see you. She's coming in. I hope. Hi,
Hi.
Katie.
Hi, Erin. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. Adriana, who works with me, who I know you've been talking to, is holding the phone. Adriana, show yourself.
Hey, Boo, who I've been talking to / stalking for 1 year. But
Oh, no.
whatever.
And she's great. And I'm so happy to talk to you. And Erin, I thought I'd show you around real quickly before you can talk to me about whatever you want. But this is the big screen that you'll see tonight. We put sort of photos together from my career and my childhood. And I'm at Symphony Hall here in Atlanta. You know, I used to live in Atlanta, Erin.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. The lights are really strong right now.
Yeah, I'll go in front of them.
There's Julia, who works with me as well. Hi, Julia. Say hi to Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Julia.
Anyway, so it's been a whirlwind. I feel like it's been a whirlwind, but we've had so much fun. This is our, what, you guys, sixth city? City number 6.
Yeah.
We did Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Chicago, which was really fun because my in-laws live there, and now Atlanta. And then on Friday, we're in Los Angeles. Saturday, we're in San Francisco. Then we come across the country to Nashville. And then I'm doing something in Memphis. And then I'm going to collapse and sleep for 4 days.
Have a margarita and just put your feet up.
Exactly.
What is the tour like? Like, is it what you thought it would be? Like, you're on tour for your book.
I know. Well, it's really fun. And it's, you know, I probably should explain at the beginning when people come out to see me sort of what this is all about, because I don't think they know what to expect. But basically, at every stop, I've had 2 guests, one from a news story I've covered through the years. For example, in New York, I had this incredible woman named Lauren Manny, who I met shortly after 9/11, who was, oh, thanks, guys, who was burned over like 82% of her body and just was in horrific shape. You know, you didn't hear about many survivors, but I interviewed Lauren when she was doing rehab, and now 20 years later, she came back, and I just wanted to see how she was doing. I interviewed somebody who had lost both of her legs in the Boston Marathon bombing in Boston. And then I have sort of a featured guest. So in Boston, I talked to Tan France. In New York, Chloe Feynman and Melissa Villasenor from SNL. In Philadelphia, I interviewed, kind of was in conversation with Savannah Guthrie, which was really fun. And do you want me to walk?
Just because the light.
Oh, the light's bad here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. And let's see, Washington, D.C., I talked to Kara Swisher, who's a tech reporter and a media reporter for the New York Times and has a podcast. And I think you're in for a real treat because Ina's here.
I heard.
To be in conversation with me, Ina Garten. And before that, I'm going to be talking to Amy Copeland, who I know is a real rock star here in Atlanta. I don't know if you know her story, because this was before, Erin, you moved to Atlanta, but Amy had got wounded on a zip line, and then her wound got infected with this flesh-eating bacteria, and she lost her limbs, and she was 24 years old, and she has just gone on to do remarkable things. She is just a real profile in courage, and I'm excited to see her again. And so, but I kind of opened this whole thing with a 20-minute kind of a TED Talk about my career, and then we sort of weave in these interviews that I just mentioned. And It's about 90 minutes, and I hope people, and then I spotlight a charity, a local charity, which we'll have to wait and see. But I hope people leave feeling kind of enlightened and inspired, and also feel like there's really good in the world, because we're going through such a hard time in the country where there's so much rancor and vitriol and anger and people just, I don't know, frustration. So I hope this will be a really uplifting evening for people who come and see me.
Yeah, well, I feel uplifted and motivated after finishing your book yesterday. And
Thank you for reading it. Thank you,
it's
Erin.
so
Did you?
good, of course. Like,
I hate to put you on the spot, but did you like it?
of course I liked it. I can't wait to like hear you talk about it more. I know I don't have a lot of time with you, but there were so many things that spoke directly to me that I had no idea about. Adriana can vouch that I've been on you for a year. Like, I just knew I loved your personality. Obviously, I host a podcast that kind of fell on my lap, and you're.
Oh no, your audio just cut out. Can you guys hear us?
Can you hear us, Erin? Thumbs up if you can hear us. You can hear us, but we can't hear you. You want to try get back on? Here, let's go tell her.
Here. No. We'll just end the live and then.
Well, okay, we'll end the live.
She can hear you. You don't have to.
Oh, sorry. We'll end the we'll end the live, and why don't you hop on again, and then I'll join you again. I don't know.
Yes. I can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, we can hear you again. Yay.
I don't know what
The
happened.
lighting is so, by the way, I look purple, which I just realized the lighting is so
You're
bad
glowing.
here, you guys. I know. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to go over here with my fun group. Hi, everyone. Say hi to Erin. There's Nate. Say hi to Erin.
This is amazing.
I think this lighting isn't very good either, but hey, what are you going to do? But
You're
Erin,
on
talk
tour.
to me.
You're making it work.
Yeah, talk to me. You can ask me anything.
Well, I wanted to talk to you. I haven't heard you ever talk about this. And chapter 5 of your book, I turn and it's binge, purge, repeat. And I was like, what? Because same. I dealt with bulimia for 10 years, and I finally told my story in my book. And my whole thing is make your mess your message. And I wasn't going to tell anyone about it because I got through it, and it's like no one found out because it's gross and it's secretive and you don't want anybody to know what you're doing. And you so openly shared it. And I want to thank you for doing that, because when I told my story, I didn't know anyone else that was bulimic. And I studied a lot about what triggers it. And I'm the oldest of 4. You're the youngest of 4. And I've always assumed like my perfectionist firstborn personality was like the trigger. But now you're the youngest. Do you think it was like learned because you had older siblings? Was your mom always dieting? Like, where do you think your eating disorder noise came from?
Yeah. I think disordered eating in general was so kind of part and parcel of my upbringing, kind of this focus on being thin all the time and calorie restriction and all that stuff. And I think I got into this terrible cycle of like, I remember during that period, if I ate a piece of gum that wasn't sugarless, I was bad. Or if I ate something that wasn't kind of very regimented and part of a very restrictive diet, I felt like I had failed. And so that kind of opened the door, and I said, I blew it. I wasn't the kind of person who could just, like a normal person, eat a cookie and say, I enjoyed that cookie. I would eat a cookie and then I would feel so bad about myself. I would eat 25 cookies because I had this mentality, well, I'll start again tomorrow. I blew it for the day.
Yes.
And I think it must be a control thing. I think it's sort of a, feeling like you're out of control and giving yourself permission to be out of control. The cycle was just really, it's so screwed up. And then you end up spending so much time just focused on what you're eating. It's sort of like becomes an obsession. And I was very into counting calories. Like I could tell you, like a Mary Jane has 52 calories. Like in college, I knew the calorie count of every single thing. And I think it was just this really unhealthy obsession. And I would say my whole life, probably, even though I stopped being bulimic, I still have disordered eating. I think to a certain degree, I still worry about like what I'm eating, but I'm much healthier now, and I just try to focus on eating healthy. And I can eat a cookie or two. I don't have to then eat the whole bag. I've learned how to not punish myself for enjoying things that I like to eat.
That's exactly what I've learned now. It's balance. That's what Squats and Margaritas, my podcast, is. Like, I would never have a cocktail or wine because sugar and carbs. And then, like you said, if I was at a wedding or something and I had one, it was like, well, I blew it. I might as well have a bottle of wine and I'll start over on Monday. But when you live with balance, I never restrict and take anything out that I want to have. For me, that's a margarita. And if you give yourself that one allowance, like an indulgence that you want to have, if you have it every day, then you make allowances everywhere else. Like if I'm drinking margaritas, then I'm going to eat pretty healthy that day. And you just balance it out. I never went to therapy or treatment, and I struggled for 10 years. And like you, I stopped doing the practices, but I've had so many people on my podcast that have recovered, and just the way they speak, they're way further than me. Like mentally, I still have the noise, even though I'm not abusing my body. And I wonder if it will always be with me because I never got treatment. And I just assumed I was healed because I stopped throwing up my food. But like you said, just how you described it, like I always still will have that noise, and I don't know where maybe it takes treatment to get fully healed mentally. I don't know.
You know, it's interesting because I remember going to sort of a social worker at a church nearby. I never went to like official therapy, but as I talk about in my show, I think I realized how dangerous it was. And it can really it can ruin your teeth, and you can have all sorts of scarring in your esophagus. And it's just so unhealthy that I was lucky. And I know for many people, they need a lot more treatment. But I was sort of able to say, I don't want to die doing this, and I don't want to harm my body. But you know, I think for a lot of people, it's a real challenge. So I don't want to, you know, say that anybody can just stop, like anybody can just stop smoking. But I think it's important to just bring it up, because I still think, you know, women get feeling so much pressure about their body and their body type. And I think there was so much emphasis on being like tall and thin. And I'm 5'3.5", and my sisters were both taller than I, but you know, I was never going to be this tall, lanky person. And I think because those were the images I saw growing up, that it made me feel less than somehow. And I think today, you know, I'm really glad body positivity, and now I guess the term is body neutrality, has become part of the lexicon. But there's still a lot of these opposing forces on Instagram, and you know, and I write in my book about body after baby and all that pressure that women feel to conform to these certain beauty standards that just, they don't fit all of us. We're all beautiful in our own way. And I'm glad there's more discussion about it now. And I'm you know, and I'm glad that I can talk to you about it, and that people who follow you can, you know, feel less ashamed of it, because I think it's the pressure we all feel. But I was going to say, ironically, I think my sister Emily, who passed away of pancreatic cancer when she was just 54, I think she sometimes did it. So I think there is a genetic predisposition to having this kind of psychology where you're super hard on yourself and you feel like you're never good enough. And but I think at least people talking about it and having it out in the open, I think it will lead people to kind of deal with their issues and hopefully stop doing something that is so damaging to them.
or just not feeling so isolated and alone. Like, why can't I stop doing this? What is wrong with me? Knowing that you struggled, you just admitting it is going to help so many people. I worry about my daughter who's going to be 6. She is the firstborn. And did I read that did your daughter struggle as well
Yeah,
with like,
my younger daughter struggled with some yes, body image and just feeling pressure. Yes, she did.
yeah,
And she's very healthy now. She really, focuses on taking care of herself, and she's a Tracy Anderson person.
yeah,
And, but all of us, I think we just need to expand our ideas of what constitutes beauty
yeah,
and appreciate it in all its forms, and also not focus so much on the packaging, like there
yeah.
has to be more focus on who we are as people, and our generosity or our desire to help people, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. And you have helped people. You can help more people that are feeling maybe not even just in their body, just like the whole imposter syndrome. Like I have a lot of moms that follow me that have their own brands, and it's like, how do you go live? They just feel like, I mean, it's a syndrome. Like you worry about what you're going to say, or cancel
Yeah,
culture if you say the wrong thing. How did
I
you,
talk
you said,
about that. I talk.
yeah, you were scared to go live, and now you're Katie Couric. Like, how did you get past that?
I think a lot of it is, Malcolm Gladwell talks about you have to do something for 10,000 hours to get good at it.
Okay.
I really think like working hard and just experience and, trying and failing and getting up and trying again just makes you better at everything. And I think it also not only makes your skills, it hones your skills, but it also gives you confidence. And so much of doing well in the world is feeling good about yourself and feeling that you have something to contribute,
Yes.
and I think that I have this burning desire to help people understand the world, to help me, for me to help for me to understand the world, and in that process hopefully help other people understand it. So I think you have to have at your core a real mission, like why are you doing what you're doing, and then that can, I think, drive you and make you better at it. But if it's just to get a lot of followers, if it's, like
Right.
you have to have a goal, and as I said, a North Star that's kind of guiding you, because there's got to be a reason for what you're putting out in the world that
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
then helps you, stay, keep your eye on the prize and get better at it.
Exactly. And I started doing this after I wrote my book, and just the messages I get from people that are like, you're the first person that I've told that I'm bulimic. Like, thank you for being so open. And that's why I do this. And I feel guilty because I have a 3 and a 5-year-old who like will be standing at the door. Like my husband took them out today, but they'll be standing at the door, and I'll have this guilt. Like they're only going to be little now. And I think back, like when you were
Oh my God,
hosting
get over
the
that.
Today Show. Okay, thank you. Like you were the anchor of the Today Show. You had 2 young girls. Did you feel like, how did you
No, no, no,
balance?
no, no. First of all, I think nothing screws up a kid more than having a parent on top of that kid all the time. First of all,
Okay.
like that, and I think, kids want to see their parents out and about and doing good things in the world. And I think it's really the quality of the time you spend with them. I remember when Ellie, I wrote in my book, was 9 years old, and she looked at me in the kitchen, and out of nowhere she said, "Mom, I'm so proud of the work you're doing with colon cancer." And I thought, you know, there I listen, I also have so much respect for full-time parenting, but I also think that there's a lot to be said for a child seeing you satisfied and seeing you continue to grow as a person, seeing you putting out good things in the world. So I think all of us just, my advice is just to be gentle with yourself. And, I was always recalibrating. Some weeks I spent too much time at work. Some weeks I felt guilty because I wasn't working hard enough. And I think you just always constantly assess, but unconditional love and really being there for your child and being a good role model, how you treat people. Someone once asked me, how do you become a good mother? And I said, by being a good person, you know, and because kids watch you all the time and they watch how you treat other people. And Adriana is giving me a wrap,
Sorry,
Erin,
we
so I
gotta
have to
go.
go in a minute. But I do think that's really important. And for me, I was always nice to the waiter, to the cab driver. You know, I think if a child sees you treating other people with respect, that is the most important lesson I think you can impart on that child.
We can end it right there. Thank you. Thank you for your
Life
advice. Thank
lessons
you for
from
your book.
Katie.
I love it. I will see you tonight. You won't see me, but I'll see you.
Yeah, and I'll look for you, Erin. Are you going to be wearing
Oh,
that shirt? Because I can be like, where's Erin in the floral
yeah.
blouse?
I'll let Adriana know where I am.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for reading the book. I hope you were able to get some things out of it that I hope will resonate with readers and kind of provide some examples of persistence, some examples of resilience, some examples of kind of admitting when you could have done better. So I'm really happy that you read it, and I really appreciate all your support, Erin. And thank you for stalking me on Instagram.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And
Thanks,
good
Katie.
luck
Have
to
a great
you.
show.
And okay, all right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.